Yo, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we have another video on Anime Simulator. This video is gonna be a gem method like I promised you guys in the previous video. I've been saying that I found a new method, and I found a couple new ones as well for those pro players that already got over trillion of power and actually need a better method than the one that the lower tier people are gonna use, which I get it. You know, I'm in the same boat, so I'll show you guys a couple different methods that I found out that works really well. Okay, but before that, I want to also say thank you so much for the recent support. If you're new here, make sure you go down below, leave a like, subscribe, because when you do, you'll be the first to know when I upload a video about a new method or anything new about the game. So, you know, if you want to stay up to date, if you want to become better every single time, you know, I'm always here for you guys. And if you guys have any questions, let me know down below. But with that being said, let's get right into the video. Now, first things first, the first one is going to be for new players. Now, there's a couple requirements you're gonna need for this method. Okay, you're gonna be averaging around 140,000 in 4 hours. Now, this is for the people that are new to the game. Maybe they don't have that much power, so that's why this method is not gonna be exactly for everybody. Now, the first thing you're gonna need is to equip the companion called Lee. Lee, you get it from a code. If you don't know what that code is, I'll have it in the description down below. Okay, your damage and everything increases by 10%, which is really good. And then you can also, now if you have a different companion that maybe increases your damage more, like, you know, teach works, like other units also work, just as long as they buff strength. Okay, so you're gonna have to equip a companion that buffs strength. Then another thing you're gonna need to do is obviously get a transformation like skeleton armor, or if you don't have skeleton armor yet, the different armor that buffs it a little bit less, but it still will work. Okay, so once you do that, you need one last thing, and that's gonna be Tsunami. Now, Tsunami, you get it from the one and only Blackbeard. Okay, now if you don't have Tsunami yet, it's really not that hard to get if you just continuously grind Blackbeard. Now, if you want to know how to grind Blackbeard, how to solo him perhaps, I do have a how to solo Blackbeard method that you can go ahead and use. But if you want to help fighting Blackbeard, you can always join the Discord down in the description below and ask people for help. Maybe join this server and I'll gladly help you as well. And then also on the Anime Simulator official Discord, you can also find a bunch of people doing boss farms every single day. But I do have other options available for you if you don't want to grind for Tsunami, or you just simply don't have it. This is for people who have Tsunami and are pretty new to the game. So this is the spot right here. It's pretty close to the spawn area. You just have to go to the gym, turn to the left, and go right over here. Now, right here you see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 enemies and 3 enemies right over here. Okay, so what you're gonna need to do is position yourself in a pretty good area. I think right here is pretty good. And then obviously just have a tiny task. You should already know this, but you know, if you want to know how to use tiny task, go check out my other video, the other gem video that I did for the link, or I'll have it in the description of this video, and just download it. And basically then just make sure that you're spamming one button. And as you see right there, you basically got 40 gems. The cool thing about this, I think, or the coolest thing about this method is that you really don't have to be on to be able to continuously do this. Now, if you also want to grind sword, you're welcome to. Just make sure you keep spamming the Tsunami move here, and you'll easily be able to basically get all of these gems right over here. This is a really good method. I personally really like this method, especially if you're new to the game. It's honestly quite good. So right there you have that, and it's a pretty good method, like I said. Now, if you are a little bit more advanced, you know, maybe your damage is quite a bit higher, maybe you have more abilities, more options, I would just recommend you go to the ninjas. So the ninjas is going to be right over here. The only thing you're gonna have to do is come over here where there's the most amount of people. Then make sure that you have Spirit Bomb, and make sure you have Tsunami. Okay, and only thing you're gonna have to do is just spam both of those. Okay, so for example, use this with Tsunami, and then obviously since you have sword, you can also be able to kill him like so. And then of course just continue. And this will average you around 40. This will average you around like maybe 40 every single like 30 seconds. So 80 a minute, which is pretty good if you combine that method with obviously just getting 10 every minute, which is already 90 every single minute, which is a lot, okay? And then, you know, you combine that with, like, let's say overnight, you know, you can get yourself a lot more gems, like around like 4 times, maybe 3 times more gems than you could using the previous method for the new players. So if you're a little bit stronger, you know, if you're a little bit better, or you have more abilities, make sure you go ahead and do that. It also works. And then this last method personally is for, you know, the advanced players. I'll say people that want to go beyond, you know, just that, right? So this is for people who just, you know, want to try to maybe challenge yourselves, okay? Because for this method, you're gonna need 1 light fruit or dragon fruit, okay? And second thing is you're going to need a lot of spamming of abilities, okay? So you have to go right over here, you know, into the bridge area, Wano, and then go ahead and go into these 4 people, okay? Now with these 4 people, you'll be able to honestly grind them, but you have to make sure that you are spamming a bunch of abilities. Now you could do this technically. Now you could do this the same way that you did the previous one. So obviously you would do this, you would do tsunami, and then obviously you would go ahead and just use a sword a little bit down. Like obviously you could do it like this. In my opinion, I noticed that it's not really the best option. This is also a pretty decent method if you're pretty strong, if you have a bunch of abilities you combo with, if you have dragon, if you have different abilities. Like for example, I like to do the darkness sphere with that, and then obviously tsunami, and then of course you could do stuff like, you know, dark pull, and then obviously you have other abilities that you can use like this, you know, just basically a bunch of abilities, spamming it downwards with tsunami constantly going, and with the sword you can probably average around like maybe 60 to 65, maybe even 70. You can probably average like around maybe 120 every minute. I think it's not bad. It's like I said, like around 1.5 times the increase from the ninjas, but you know, it's really just up to you, okay? You have different choices. I showed you the best locations possible. Now you can choose whichever location you like or prefer. You just have to make sure you understand that they get more health over time, right? They get more health on every single higher location. So Wano is going to be one of those areas where it's going to be the toughest enemies, so they have the most health possible, okay? So if you're not that strong, I just recommend you go ahead and do the bandits, because you're guaranteed to one-shot them with tsunami. You can constantly do it over and over again. Some disclaimers: this only works for PC, and another thing is that if you have half cooldown, this will be a lot easier on you and not as painful or hard. So just make sure you understand those 2 things before trying to do these methods. But you can honestly, you can get around 300 to 400k overnight by doing the last 2 methods. 400k or 300k, even 200k overnight. If you just do it for a week, you're basically guaranteed any mythical. You're guaranteed dragon, because it's not even that much. Like you're definitely gonna get it if you get to 1,000,000 gems. Like you're gonna get dragon, bro. You can't be that unlucky. And so basically it's a really easy way and a really overpowered way, because you could never do this in Anime Fighting Simulator X or Anime Fighting Simulator. So the fact that you can do it in this game, it makes it a lot easier, a lot more fun, and way less annoying than it would have been on other games. So make sure you do these methods and let me know how you like them. Like I said, let me know if you are going to use them, or if you found a better method without this video. Just let me know, man. I'm curious what you guys have to say about this. And yeah, let me know if you liked update 1 or not. I think it was pretty good. I think it was solid. Hopefully next week it'll be World 2. If not, game might suffer a little bit, but hopefully it'll come back later. See you guys on the next one. Stay safe and peace out, man.